Good afternoon, everyone. It's good to see all of you here. Hope you had a great day. I'm Si Hui, a student intern at NUS FinTech Lab. And today, I want to share about the Bybit hack that shook the whole world in 2025. But before diving into the Bybit breach, let's set the stage. Crypto has suffered major attacks before. We have the Ronin network hack in 2022, where $650 million was stolen after validator keys was compromised. And we also have the Poly network hack in 2021, where $611 million was drained from a cross-chain breach. And of course, we have the infamous Mt. Gox hack and the Coincheck hack, and many more such incidents. But in February 2025 came the Bybit hack, and it shattered all previous records. A staggering $1.4 billion worth of Ethereum and tokens vanished from Bybit's cold wallet in a matter of hours. The attackers ran a tiny 90 USDT test transaction first, and once they confirmed access, they drained over 400,000 Ethereum, over 90,000 ST Ethereum, 15,000 CM Ethereum, and 8,000 M Ethereum. The attackers were smart. They struck near the end of working hours when there are fewer employees. And by the morning, the wallet was empty. So, you might be wondering, who is behind this massive attack? Well, studies have shown that it is the Lazarus Group, the North Korea's infamous state-sponsored cyber unit. This is not their first attack. They have hit Ronin, Harmony, and Atomic Wallet before, and now Bybit. So, what's the impact? Ethereum plunged over 3% within minutes, $75 billion was wiped off the crypto market, $4 billion was withdrawn from Bybit in panic, and trust in centralized exchanges is shattered once again. What exactly happened? On February 21st, the Bybit team logged into this centralized exchange platform called the Safe Wallet, previously known as Junosi Safe. So as you can see, in this Bybit cold wallet account, it has roughly $1.4 billion worth of assets, with over 400,000 Ethereum and more. And as part of their usual protocol, the Bybit signer initiated a standard fund transfer by first clicking on the Send button, Send Token button, and this brought them to here, where they would manually key in the details for transferring 30,000 Ethereum to their Bybit hot wallet account. This routine is actually done once every 2 weeks. Then the Bybit signer will then click Next, click Continue, which will lead them to this Reviews Details page. So this is something I would like to emphasize. As you can see, all the information looks correct. The destination address is indeed the Bybit hot wallet address. The transfer amount is also correct, which is 30,000 Ethereum. If everything looks correct, then what went wrong? We will have to rewind things a little bit. A few days back, on 4 February 2025, a Safe Wallet's developer machine was somehow compromised. This is how the Lazarus Group got access to Safe Wallet's AWS infrastructure. And over the next 12 days, the attackers maintained access to Safe AWS environment, where they monitored Bybit's activities closely. Then, on 17 February 2025, the attackers found the opportunity to inject malicious JavaScript code into the Safe Wallet user interface hosted on AWS. This was the most crucial step. What they injected here wasn't just any other widespread malware. It was surgical and directed. The code was designed to target Bybit's wallet transactions, meaning that the other users were not affected. And what did this JavaScript code do? When a Bybit signer used the Safe Wallet interface to initiate a transaction, for example, sending 30,000 Ethereum from their cold wallet to their hot wallet, the code silently replaced the destination address to the attacker address at the very last moment before the transaction was signed. So essentially, the user interface still showed the original expected destination address on the screen. Furthermore, Safe Wallet requires 3 signers to approve a transaction for Bybit, and the other 2 signers also saw the correct destination address and approved the transaction. In the end, all 3 signers signed what appeared to be a completely normal transaction, completely unaware that the actual recipient address had been switched out behind the scenes. once signed and submitted, the funds were irreversibly sent to the attacker's wallet. Well, we got to admit, the attackers were smart. But how can we be smarter through a smarter hybrid security architecture? So I propose a 6-layer solution. They can be used independently of each other or deployed all together. So the heart of this attack was the UI manipulation. Everything looked normal, but what the signer saw wasn't what they were actually signing. To fix that, we bring in an AI-based verification layer right at the point of signing. So imagine this. Right before a transaction is approved, a transformer model trained on Bybit's transaction history runs locally on the signer's secure device, maybe even embedded in the hardware wallet. So it checks, is the destination address consistent with the past cold to hot wallet flows? Does the core data match expectations? Is the token type or transfer amount anomalous? If the AI sees something off, like a never-seen-before address receiving 400,000 Ethereum, it flags it, pauses the flow, and alerts the team immediately. Even if the UI lies, the payload never lies to the model. This means that even if the front end is compromised, the AI sitting at the edge becomes your last line of defense. But we also need to go back in time to 4 February, when the Safe Wallet front end was first compromised. Here's where a second layer of AI comes in, at the level of code auditing. We propose integrating models like CodeBird and GraphCodeBird into Bybit's CI/CD pipeline. These are AI models trained on huge amount of source code, and they can detect anomalous logic, permission escalations, and unsafe code changes. If this system had been in place, when the Lazarus group first injected their JavaScript code into the Safe Wallet front end, the malicious code would have been flagged automatically during deployment, long before Bybit even logged in. Think of this as a firewall for your code base, and one that understands logic, not just syntax. Let's say the code injection still went unnoticed. Is there a chance to stop the attack before the transaction is signed, but before the funds are irreversibly lost? Yes, with graph neural networks, or GNNs. After the initial test transfer of 90 USDT, the attacker received over 400 Ethereum in a single burst. This type of transaction was unprecedented. If Bybit had a GNN-based system continuously monitoring the blockchain transaction graph, it would have instantly detected this deviation from normal behavior. A cold wallet suddenly transferring massive assets, a new unrecognized address becoming the recipient, transfers occurring at unusual hours. Such models learn the typical flow of assets in and out of wallets. And when something deviates, they don't just observe. They sound the alarm, potentially giving Bybit a window to pause further signatures or revoke access to downstream wallets. Now, here's the broader question. What if another exchange saw a similar test transaction? Could they have warned Bybit just in time? The problem is, most threat data is locked within each organization. And that's where federated learning has to come in. This is a privacy-preserving method where each exchange trains its own AI model locally on its own transaction logs, threat signals, and login behavior, and then only shares the model updates, never the raw data. These updates are then aggregated to improve a global model, which is then shared back with everyone. If this had been in place, maybe another exchange's earlier encounter with Lazarus tactics, perhaps through Harmony or Atomic Wallet, could have strengthened Bybit's models just in time. No GDPR violations, no leaks, just collective intelligence. Even better, what if verification didn't depend on Bybit alone? We envision deploying on-chain or off-chain AI oracle nodes, or operating independently from Bybit's internal systems. These AI models observe mempool transactions involving Bybit, run trained models to detect anomalies, and publish a signed verdict, safe or suspicious. If such an oracle had seen the cold wallet sending 400,000 Ethereum to a new address, it would have flagged the transaction on-chain before it was mined, giving downstream contracts the option to delay, reject, or require human confirmation. This adds trustless, decentralized verification, a second set of AI-powered eyes outside of Bybit's perimeter. Finally, every security system is incomplete without accountability. If this attack had gone differently, say the attackers only partially succeeded, then regulators would definitely ask, how did this happen? What were the signs? And what did your systems do? Our hybrid architecture includes immutable audit trails, optionally anchored on a blockchain. So every alert raised by the AI, every approval override, and every signing action are all logged, hashed, and timestamped. So what's the big picture? The Lazarus Group's attack was not just a hack. It was a wake-up call. They bypassed cold wallet multi-signature by compromising everything outside the cryptography: the humans, the interface, the supply chain. And our solution responds just in kind. With AI at the edge to catch interface lies, with AI in the pipeline to block code tampering, with AI in the graph to flag transactional anomalies, with decentralized intelligence to share threat patterns, all while maintaining compliance and trust. In a world of evolving attacks, we need evolving defense, not just secure systems, but intelligent, adaptive, and explainable ones. And this is how Bybit and Agni exchanges can rise stronger from the breach. With that, I thank you all for your time. Thank you.